Facebook.
All right, what's going on, everybody? Smoother Man here with another good episode for you. Got my girl Dom.
Hello, Dom.
Yeah, your girl Dom. Check out her channel as well. We're doing this nice collaboration. Today's topic is about money and relationships, right? And just to give you guys a little background to how we got this, we came to this topic, right? Is I was one day I was checking out a discussion on Clubhouse. It was about, I forgot what it was about, but it has something to do with power dynamics in relationship, right? And so it came to a point where they were talking about money and who makes more money, and whether the woman should listen to her man if he doesn't make more money than her, right? So so some of we, the men were listening, and we was like, what? Like, what the hell? What that got to do with anything? You know what I'm saying? Like, what does that got to do with anything? Whether he's making more money than you or not, or if he isn't making more money than his woman, how does that? How are you going to start disrespecting him and talk about he can't tell you nothing? Like, what the hell does that mean? Whether he's making more money or not, you should still respect him, right? And how does that disqualify him from being the leader if he doesn't make more money? So that's what we're discussing here, everybody. We want to know. We're going to discuss that, and if you guys want to chime in on live, let us know. Send your comments or whatever. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Does more money equal more power in the relationship?
Yeah or no, yeah.
Right. Or does more, or you can tailor it that way. Or does more money, the person who makes more money in relationships, does that mean that they have to be the leader? Does that automatically mean that they're the leader just because they make more money? And especially when it comes to that male female dynamic, right? If you're traditional and you are of the opinion that the man is the leader in the relationship, or should be the leader in the relationship, you know, if he's not making more money, does that disqualify him from being the leader, or do you feel that you would still respect your man and he should still be the leader in the relationship regardless, right? So let's talk about this. So, you want to go ladies first?
Ladies first.
Tell us your opinion on that.
I'm old school. I believe the man is the head. So, regardless if I make more money in the situation, I believe technically I'm supposed to listen to him because he's my head, and that's the way God made things. So that's my input
Right,
on
right.
it.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I kind of take that, you know, that traditional position that the man should be the leader and the head of the household, head of the relationship, regardless of income. Even if he isn't making more money, he should still be the head. Now we understand that being the head and the leader, it's a certain skill that's involved. But in a general sense, yeah, I also agree that the man should be the dominant figure in the household, in the relationship, regardless of income. You know what I mean? So well, now let's take it to that, since we both agree on that. How do you view some of those women who were saying, like, well, if he don't make more money than me, like, he can't tell me nothing? Like, how do you feel about that?
Well, I do have a disagreement to if a man is making more money and he is leading them wrong. Heck no, I'm not listening to him. So I think that there has to be some substance, some honor and some respect with that, with your, with you leading me. Um, so I think that, men should take in consideration if they are making the more money. Um, I meant to say if the woman is making the more money, that the man still should be the head, but should still lead well. Did I say that right?
Right, right, yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Right, yeah, I agree. Right, that even if he's making, if he makes less, and his woman, his wife, happens to, was able to find a better paying job, or maybe she, got a degree, a better degree, or whatever, that he should. she should still respect him as the head of the household. You know what I mean? So this idea that making less all of a sudden disqualifies the man from being able to say anything is it's crazy. You know what I mean? It's crazy. It's crazy. It's disrespectful. Um, and it just shows, I don't know, it just shows the mentality of such persons that they would base it on the money. You know what I mean? Just because you make more money doesn't make you automatically the leader. Even when it comes to intelligence, though it's not about that, but a good leader knows how to manage people, right? So even if you are making more money, even if somebody's smarter, a good leader knows how to utilize those resources. He knows how to utilize the person that has the financial resources. He or she knows how to utilize the person that's the smartest, right? Just like a leader in the cabinet or the president when he picks his cabinet. You want somebody who's good with the money, the treasurer. You got to pick somebody who's good with the international affairs. You got to pick somebody who can handle the diplomacy and things like that. You need somebody for the head of the military, Department of Defense. So
Agreed.
but a good leader knows how to do that. A good leader knows how to pick those people, see the talents that they have, and delegate
Agreed.
things to those certain people like that. You know what I mean?
So I disagree with the man being in total control of everything though. Like I disagree with that. Um, I think that it should be a partnership. I think it should definitely be a partnership um, in regards to making the final decision. I think it should be like, a talk instead of just because the man is the head making that final decision. I think we should talk about it and then you should hear what I think and then you should make your final decision. But I don't think you should make your final decision being a man
Right.
completely because you make more money.
Right, right. Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, that's what makes a good leader too. Is that you talk with your team. You know what I mean? You don't make the decisions on your own. You talk with your team, and everybody puts in the ideas, and then that final decision can be made based upon all the input. So yeah, that's what makes a good leader. You know, um, as well, being able to hear out the members of your team,
Agreed.
and then make the best decision based upon the input. For certain. Another aspect that's part of this discussion too that I found interesting when I was listening to that discussion too is that a lot of these women, interestingly, they claim to be of a certain religion. I don't want to call it any particular religion, but they claim to be of a certain religious background, right?
Uh
So
oh, y'all.
I'm not gonna call it out, but
Yeah,
y'all
go
figure it
ahead.
out. Y'all
No,
figure it out.
go
You want me
ahead.
to say it? Let me say, all
Yeah.
right. A lot of them claim to be of a Christian background.
Oh,
So even when it came to
oh,
that, I was
oh.
like, okay, so wait a minute now. If you're of that background, then that shouldn't be coming out your mouth. Whether he makes more money, he can't tell you nothing because the scriptures, the scriptures that they believe in, says that what the man is the head, right? The head of the woman,
Technically.
the head of the woman is the
Right.
man. So
Right.
you know what I mean. So if you claim that you follow that particular religious outlook, and that's what it instructs, that's what it tells you,
It does.
then how are they talking this? He can't say nothing to me if he don't make more money than me stuff. You know what I mean? So I found that interesting as well. When I looked, I was like, wait a minute, a lot of these women, they claim to be of a Christian background, but yet now you're going against your scriptures by talking about if he don't make, he can't say nothing to you. Well, that's not what your scriptures say. It says the man.
Agreed.
Right? You know what I mean? So yeah, y'all women, you need to think about that. Sometimes you let your emotions get in the way. You start saying stuff, and I realize that you're contradicting the ideology that you claim you believe in. You know what I mean? So that's interesting as well. You know.
Agreed.
So,
Yeah.
what you think?
Um, I agree. Yeah, if you're a Christian and you're listening for the voice of God, you definitely. I know I've gotten in trouble with my ex-husband many a times for not listening, but yeah. So
Right. And the same thing with a lot of other scriptures too. In the Islamic scriptures, same thing. The man is said to be the protector and the maintainer of the woman, and it talks about, just like in the Bible, it talks about obedience. You know, so yeah, and it ain't got nothing to do with the income either. It's just the way they say God made it. You know what I mean? Because of course, not just because of that, but because of certain thing. You know, the man has a certain certain physical and mental makeup that the way God made it in the man. You know what I'm saying? So yeah.
Agreed.
And let's see.
What kind of beta mind state is that? Who's that?
What you mean, Teddy? Explain yourself, bro. What you mean, like beta in what way? If you can, if you don't mind, like elaborating a little bit more. You know.
You always bring them on camera too, but like,
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, if you want to join in, you could let us know like what you mean exactly. You know what I'm saying? As far as that's concerned. So Teddy, if you want to, it's Teddy, right? Yeah. So Teddy, yeah, if you want to chime in, come on live, or just put your comment so we can understand a little bit more what you mean. You know what I mean? What do you mean, like beta? As far as what? Like as far as the last part we talked about, which is getting the input from your team and not making the complete decision on your own. Just give us a little clarity on what you mean, so that we can understand you better, if possible. You know what I'm saying? So we'll wait. See. How about anybody on YouTube? I don't know if anybody on YouTube. Anybody on YouTube? Nobody on YouTube saying anything yet? No. All right. So yeah. Okay. So yes, about the checking with your team thing. Well, I don't know, Teddy. I mean, I don't think it's beta. I mean, you're still the head. You know what I mean? You're the head of the family, the relationship. But you're just taking in consideration of what your woman has to say. That's all. It's not like she's telling you what to do, but you are getting some input from her before you make the final decision. You know what I mean? So that's all. So I don't think that's beta at all. It just shows leadership. You know what I mean? That you're willing to hear your woman out. You're still gonna make the decision, but you're at least getting her input into whatever decision needs to be made, and you can process that information and then add it to your thoughts and then see which way to go with it. You're still making a decision, so I don't think that's beta at all. You know what I mean? Because again, all good leaders do that. You know what I mean? The president does that, right? The president doesn't just make the decisions on his own. He speaks with his cabinet members. You know what I mean? He listens to. He'll take the end. Yeah, he might make the final decision is in his hands, but I'm sure he listens to his counselors. This is why they have that. This is why kings have a counselor. This is why the presidents have counselors. Generals in the military, same thing. They don't just make the decision on their own. He listens to his sergeants, and he gets the input from them, processes the information. Yes, he'll make the final decision, but he's going to listen to what his scouts have to say, what the lower generals have to say. The admirals, the captains, the sergeants. He's going to get input from the field, and then when he gets all that information and then input, he then can decide, which way to go when he makes his ultimate decision. But he's not just like looking at everything on his own and just deciding on his own. So I don't think that's beta, at all, to at least get the input from those members of your household or the members of your team or whatever, and then once you get that,
executing.
yeah, and then you just execute like that. So yeah, so you're still in control. You're still the alpha, but
Hey,
you know what I
Charlotte.
mean. So
Hey. So yeah, I think that um, as a woman that have been single for so long, I can't lie, I'm be transparent, which I'm throw myself under the bus. I've had issues where men have made like lots of money, and because they made lots of money, um, I kind of pushed them away because I was in fear of like, oh my goodness, they're gonna be in charge of everything, and I didn't want to make that final decision to ultimately go with them because they they were real, um how can I put, like, extra with me, and I'm like, yeah, no, I don't know about that. Can we make, I guess that's the new thing, everybody trying to make the same amount of money, or not having a man be, having make more money, and you got to listen to everything. But honestly, that is the way of things. So I kind of messed up, kind of, sort of, a little bit. But I guess I'm right on schedule because I met Sean. So I don't think, I don't think that it was. a bad thing to let them go because I think I'm right on schedule by certain things. Da da da. It says I
Yeah.
understand, but we're not talking for.
A war battle aspect. We're talking about leading in a relationship. I'm saying, Teddy. I mean, you still leading. You just, you know what I mean. You're just getting some input. You just seeing what her concerns are. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So you're still being that confident man. You know what I'm saying? But you're hearing her out. You see what I'm saying? That's all. That's all. That's going on. You're hearing her out, and you're taking into consideration what she feels, what she thinks about certain things, and then you execute on that. It's still your idea. It's still or as for, I mean it's still your execution of the decision. But again, taking her input allows you to make a decision that's going to be beneficial not only to you but to her as well, and if it's a family, then if there's a family, you know what I'm saying, and that displays good leadership. You know what I mean? That
Agreed.
displays good leadership. You know what I'm saying? And again, like I said, just look at the idea, even if it's not war, but a leader of a country, a president. Why do you think historically presidents, kings, prime ministers, etc., they have cabinets? Even kings never just made it. They had counselors, right? They had counselors that were part of their court, as they say. The president has a members of his cabinet. Why? Because all the decisions, it's hard when you got to have all that by yourself. But you'll make the ultimate decision. But you definitely want counselors, advisors to advise you and give you, their opinions, to give you their advice, etc., to help you make a better decision. You know what I'm saying?
Hold on, wait. He
Let's
says,
see.
and leading has nothing to do about money, about a man's ability to provide the four P's.
Right. Now we agree. Now we said that at the beginning, that we agree that the money, whether you make a lot or whether you make less than your woman, you're right. That has nothing to do with leadership. I definitely agree with you, right? Because leadership is a skill, right? Irregardless of your money, you could still be a great leader. One example that I like to use, although y'all got to forgive me now, it may not be the best example, but it's just something to think about. It's that like a pimp, right? All right. Again, I'm not trying to justify anything, but I'm just saying, like, just look at a pimp, for example. Hopefully, y'all can understand what I'm saying. I'm not trying to justify that lifestyle or anything, but that's the perfect example, I think, when it comes to show that you can be the leader and not be making the most money, right? You know what I'm saying? Right? He said, "Oh, now you agree, right?" To me, to show that, you know what I mean? Like you could be the one who's not making the money,
Hey, David.
but you have the leadership, right? So again, this may not be the best example, but I still think it does. It's an extreme. I'll put it this way: it's an extreme example. It's an extreme example. Okay, so with a pimp, he has his workers, the female workers. They're the ones out there making all the money, right? So if they want, that's what I always wondered too. Like, how is it that these women go out there, they make all this money, and they come back and bring it to the pimp, right? When they could just be out on their own. But what's lacking is that leadership thing. See? That's how that pimp whole thing works, is that they're making all the money, but they don't have that leadership skill for themselves. So they defer to the pimp to lead them as they make all this money. Because I heard they making lots of money. If they're good ones, they make a lot of money, but they give it to the pimp, and then he makes the decisions on how the money is going to be siphoned out and whatever the case may be. Why? Because they look into him for leadership. So I think, even though it's an extreme example, it's an example to demonstrate that making the most money doesn't mean that you are qualified to be the leader. And in reverse, just because you make less money doesn't mean that you're disqualified from being the leader, because leadership is a skill. You see what I'm saying, Teddy?
Agreed.
So I do agree with you that it has nothing to do with money. It's about leadership skill. So I
So
think we agree on that. Yeah.
can a man lead if he doesn't have great leadership skills? Then can he lead? Should he be leading if he doesn't have good leadership skills?
Well, yeah, that's the question. You know what I mean? If you get into a
He's the head,
relationship,
though.
right? He's the head. So
What if I have better leadership skills
and the man doesn't, huh?
and the man doesn't?
Right, even though he's in a relationship, right?
Right.
So then I guess what the woman could do then is because
What y'all think?
yeah, you know how men are, right? You know what I'm saying? So I think what you could do,
What you
a
think,
good
sis?
woman, see, now here's what I think would happen. A good woman would know how to, um, I guess, bring that balance to him, right? Without demeaning him, right? Without demeaning him, without emasculating him, in a sense, like kind of, I guess, leading from behind, and against, in a sense, you know what I mean? Where she's doing it because she's she's intelligent how she does it, where she's not making him feel less than a man. She's not being condescending. She's not putting him down. She kind of, I guess, in that sense, brings that balance to him, and then she helps him to shine, right? She
Right.
helps him to shine. So I think in that sense, that's what could happen if you get into a situation where the woman meets a man who may not have that great leadership skill, so she can bring that balance to the relationship without, like I said, without demeaning him and helping him to shine. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Are you okay with that?
With what? Hey, I'm smoother man, so I got the leadership skill.
He's a great leader. He's been great. So just
Right, right. So, and of course, that's what the Smoother Man channel is about, right? It's about helping you guys to become smoother men, right? It's giving you those advice and those tips to help you um, be that man that your woman needs you to be. You know what I mean? I always say that it's not about being a player or using women or anything like that. No, this is about being a smoother man so you can have genuinely successful relationships. You feel what I'm saying? We got somebody from.
what Crystal said.
Let's see.
It said, "No, I'm good. Tired. Tried that before. Been there, done that. It never worked. I need a man to lead, as the Bible says."
Right, right,
Yes.
okay, yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. 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 Agreed, sis. Agreed. That's my best friend, Crystal.
Right, right, yeah, yeah. We agree with that. We agree.
Yeah. Most definitely. But what if there is a plan that is in the heart of a woman that God has given? Do you agree that the plan should be in your heart as well, and we should just carry it out together? And say you're not noticing, but your wife is noticing it,
Mm-hmm.
and she mentions it to you. Are y'all supposed to carry that out because she mentioned it, or no? Because what do you feel on that?
Yeah, I think that's part of being a good leadership as well. Like I talked about, how you can recognize the talent of others and then support that, right? A good leader does that too, right? It doesn't always have to be the leader's idea. The leader can recognize the talent of others, just like record company labels and stuff like that, right? The record company owner or whoever leads the company, but he's good at recognizing the talent of others and knowing how to support them in that and helping them to achieve that goal, which does what? It benefits the person with the talent and it benefits the company. So I think in a relationship it's the same thing. If you're not the type of guy who has any ideas of your own, but you recognize that your woman, your wife, or whatever, or even like your children, if it's a family unit, like one of your children has a talent, and you say, okay, look, this child or my wife or whoever has this talent or this idea, I recognize it as a good idea, so I'm going to support it. And we're going to help achieve that goal with her idea or with the child or whatever the case may be. That also makes you a good leader as well, right? Where it's not your idea, but you know how to recognize it, support it, and put the efforts behind it, so that way they and the unit can achieve success with that. I think that's what makes a good leader as well. So yeah,
Agreed.
yeah, that's positive. So yeah. So what's up? Anybody else? Anybody else got any input, any ideas on anything? You know?
If you let the man lead, if he's a leader, the woman's input should always be a positive. Yes, we talked about that
Right.
before she came on. Agreed, sis. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Agreed. Yeah, I
Yeah, yeah,
agree.
yeah. Right. And that's good leadership quality. That's a good leadership quality. A good leadership skill is recognizing those things. You know what I mean? That's what a good leader can do. Just like with, again, let's see, like with what's that company, like with Apple, you know what I mean, like Steve Jobs had his idea, but I'm sure as Apple continues, even up till now that he's gone, but as Apple continued to progress, it's about, I'm sure he has a lot of smart people, as part
Right.
of his company, right? And because I'm sure he didn't come up with all the ideas, right? Maybe at first, but now you got all these other smart people under him, and he again recognizes their talent. Say, okay, look, this you know how you came up with an idea to make the Apple Watch, and it could do this and that. So he was able to harness their talent, harness their smartness, harness their intelligence to, but it's under his leadership to make these products for the Apple company. You know what I mean? Same thing when it comes to Tesla, Microsoft, etc. These guys, Elon Musk and whatever, they may have been the ones to, have the first idea, but then you want to hire other smart people so you can utilize and harness their intelligence to further the company, and it benefits everybody.
Agreed.
So, again, that all takes leadership skill, because the leader, you have to be able to do it without without the ego. You know what I mean? You're leading with confidence, because you have that confidence, and you're recognizing others without feeling it's taking anything away from you. And again, that's what makes a great leader.
Agreed. Agreed.
So again, everybody, right? Like we said, the money, whether you got it or you don't have it, does not automatically qualify you to be leader because you make more money, nor does it disqualify you if you don't. It's all about that leadership skill. That's what I think is the most important thing. You know what I mean? So don't let the money get in the way, right, ladies and gentlemen? Don't let the money get in the way. You know what I mean? Of course, do your best to, because we know in societies that we live in, being able to provide is important. You know what I mean? But yeah, it should never be. Everything shouldn't be weighted on that. You know what I mean?
Agreed.
So yeah.
Agreed.
And to the ladies, real quick, and to the ladies who think that you don't have to listen to your man just because you make more money than him, like you need to check your thinking. You need to check that type of thinking, because to me, I think that shows, it's like a materialistic type of thinking, and I don't think it's a positive outlook or a positive way to think about the man that you want in your life, or the man that you are in a relationship with. You know what I mean? If you think it's all about the money, and if he makes more than you, then you'll listen to him. Like, really? Do you really respect him if that's the case? You know what I'm saying? So check that type of thinking, ladies. I don't think it's a positive way. You know what I mean? So, any last words?
Agreed. Agreed.
All right. Well, I think this was another good topic. And even when it's done, go ahead and leave your comments, and your thoughts and opinions in the comment section, and we'll definitely look them over, and maybe we'll talk about them in the next show. We got other good shows coming up. We got another good topic. We won't tell you yet, but we got another good topic that you guys are gonna like as well. All right.
I'm gonna have some loose lips on that topic though. I'm having some alcohol for that one. But,
well, guys, y'all have a good night. Don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe. All right. Again, this is the Smoother Man. You got your girl Dom. Check her out. She got her YouTube, her channels as well, and social media. So check it out, guys. And again, support the content. We appreciate you guys checking us out. And if you got any ideas for any other shows that you would like, topics for us to discuss, we take that too. Leave it in the message, send a message or whatever, and we'll go with that. All right, y'all have a good night and enjoy the weekend.